Next, we have Big Bird on a little screen. Is that correct, Linda?
Close. Are these mics live? Is it okay?
Yeah,
to
whatever
just
you
say?
like.
Okay.
Whatever you like.
Hello. So we've had a lot of talk today about the fourth grade slump and about how kids who are doing okay up until that point then all of a sudden hit the point where they need to read for comprehension and they fall into the slump. Unfortunately, we know also that there are all too many kids who don't even make it to that fourth grade slump. They start slumping a lot sooner than that. They arrive at school underprepared to learn to read, and we know from the research base that kids who are behind in the first grade rarely catch up at any point beyond that in school. So the project that I want to talk about today is an intervention targeted at K through 2 students. We also know that one of the most effective kinds of early intervention is a targeted intervention, which is to say, based on diagnostic measures of what a particular child's profile of reading strengths and weaknesses may be, to develop an intervention that is specifically designed to hit the skill areas in which that child has deficiencies. These have been shown to be very effective, but there's one major stumbling block, and that is what teacher has the time to design a targeted intervention for each of her struggling readers, to choose materials and to organize a program individually for each child. Fortunately, we also know that particularly in the area of decoding skills, which is, we're not there yet, that's okay. Fortunately, we also know that particularly in the area of decoding skills, video and computer software can really help, can really make a difference. So, in the project that I want to tell you about today, which we are calling MRead, standing for Multimedia Reading Experience with Adaptive Delivery, we at Sesame Workshop have, thanks to the matchmaking skills extraordinaire of Linda Roberts, partnered with Wireless Generation to create a targeted intervention that is media-based, an individually targeted media-based intervention system. The goal of this project, which is funded through the Ready to Learn initiative of CPB and PBS under a grant from the U.S. Department of Education, is to create and to evaluate the effectiveness of this individualized media-based reading intervention system in improving the literacy skills of early elementary students who are struggling readers. Next slide. So, in overview, the way the system works is that it combines the M-Class DIBELS assessment tools that Wireless Generation has developed, I'll tell you a little bit more about those in a minute, with individualized media-based instruction using video from the original Electric Company series, along with newly created interactive games that we've built based on Electric Company video formats. So the goal here, the idea, the philosophy here is that by combining assessment with individually targeted interventions, we hope to be able to help at-risk students develop the motivation and the skills that they need to become successful lifelong readers. Next slide. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the DIBELS. It's the Dynamic Indicators of Basic Early Literacy Skills assessment test, which is widely used in the early elementary grades. What Wireless Generation has done is automated the DIBELS test procedure. The teacher has a POM, personal computer, on which they have all of the information about which students need to take which tests at which point in the school year, what they've taken, what they haven't, also all of the prompts that the teacher needs to read and the timing, and the teacher can enter the students' responses in real time so that they get immediate feedback on how that child is performing, whether they're at severe risk, whether they're at moderate risk, or whether they're performing at benchmark. In addition to that, next slide please, Wireless Generation has also developed a tool called the Item Level Advisor, which actually goes in and does a response pattern analysis to give far more fine-grained diagnostic and prescriptive information than the traditional DIBELS can provide. So using all of this information, next slide, using all of this score information that Wireless Generation has in their database, the mRead software creates a dynamic, personalized playlist for each individual student composed of videos and games that address the curriculum goals that are in that student's area of weakness. Next slide, please. mRead features previous slide. mRead features approximately 1,600 videos from the electric company. And next slide, about 70 newly created games that we have produced based on the formats, the video formats from the electric company. And all of these focus on decoding skills and along with reading connected text. Next slide. In addition, a subset of the students in the research, we are experimenting with delivering video on Ipod, so they will use the videos and games in the classroom on the computer, and we'll have a subset of the students will have iPods available to watch the videos before school and after school as well. Am I finished? Was that my time is up signal? Okay. We're in the midst of a research project. Next slide, please. We've already done 2 pilot studies, and we're preparing for a large-scale evaluative study in 4 cities in the fall. And the mRead software will be demonstrated by Chrissy App. Raise your hand, Chrissy, in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenda.